bloop bloop. Can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me now? No? No audio? How about now? Well, wait a second. I love this. I love when audio things do audio things. The minute we hear it, we will have it. But if we don't, then we shall not. So, we wait. We wait and we wait. Anyways, we're at patch 5.15. 5.15. That's what's up. So, yeah. We can do that. How about now? But now we're good. So, we have audio. All right, 5.15. Kyle's not here. I already explained what I said for the split second of things. Anyways, I'm going to just do it because the patch isn't too long. But Kyle is currently busy, which is fine. He's got work stuff that they're dealing with. I think they're really busy right now. So, I can just go ahead and cover the patch, which is fine. I've done it before. I used to do them all by myself. No worries. So, we're going to do that. So, let me just move this into my other monitor because that makes things easier for me, which is good. Yeah. So, all right, let's start things off with Gangplank. So, Gangplank is alive again, or should be alive again, and that's a good thing because I was having fun with his rework, as were many other people. So it's kind of nice that we get to actually play him again. And yeah, so Gangplank's back. But what they're going to do on him is his Q. We have his parlay. Greatly reduce the radius where parlay automatically acquires a K at 1 hit point. So they're going to fix that. And then also another big thing about Gangplank, and this does not really matter to Summoner's Rift, but just in general, is the global investment. He now acquires Silver Serpents every second on the Howling Abyss, Butcher's Bridge, Twisted Tree Line, and the Crystal Scar, which is super, super helpful because, like, the nice thing about all those things is, like, if you got him in ARAM, he was pretty much terrible, and yeah, it was awful, and you wouldn't be able to ever upgrade your ult, so that was bad. So now they're gonna fix that, and that's kind of a nice change, to be honest. So, yeah, yeah, that's that. So, next, obviously, just Fiora. Fiora is going to be seeing her update sometime with the launch. So, we're gonna be getting the new Fiora. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. I will obviously be playing it more when it is fully released. I think it's a needed and necessary upgrade, and yeah, it should be fine. Yeah. I know some of you are saying I'm a little quiet. It's as loud as it'll go right now. Don't know why. We'll pull that up. Maybe we can boost the properties, or did it automatic? Wow, it auto quieted me. Thanks, Skype. It might get really loud now. Let me know. So yeah, I love it when Skype is open and it decides to change your world on you as you hit live. Should be better now. Just let me know. Keep giving me updates. Keep giving me updates. We'll talk about the other stuff you guys are talking about in chat too a little bit after we get through these champion changes. I know what you guys are talking about. We'll talk about the changes to the 4 big guys coming up. So maybe not rip Fiora. Maybe rip Fiora players who are not great, who were 100% relying on her ultimate. Now you will need a bit more skill, but I think she'll be able to do a few more clever things now too with her new kit. So, like I said, we'll look into that more, and I'll probably be playing her, maybe looking at doing a build for her in the upcoming weeks, because I like to look at the new kits. They're fun. I know people are always interested in them. So yes, we will do that. Yes. So let's continue onward with Echo. So Echo was decently strong, we could say, when he came out. I don't think anybody's going to argue that. And the next thing that people would say then was he had too much maneuverability, and they saw tweaks to all those things. So the big thing, though, we saw after all of these things was he still was getting a big shield on his shield, and he still had good slow. So everybody just built him as a tank, still did good damage from his passive, and still got a big shield while still slowing everybody. So it was like, well, we didn't really lose anything. We'll just go and we'll just build him full tank. Riot doesn't like this, and I can kind of understand why. They wanted to put him as an assassin mid laner, not as a tanky jungler. So what they've done is they have changed him. And what they're, well, not changing, but what they're doing is they're going to change his passive up so it scales better with ability power. So once again, building AP benefits you more. Instead of it being a 0.7, it's going to be a 0.8 ratio. And the slow on it is going to be decreased, which hurts the tank echoers more. And that is a bad thing for... It's just a bad thing overall, but it's bad for the tank echo because he wants more of the slow anyways. And then the movement speed is just being tweaked around at its levels a little bit differently. Instead of at level 18, 1, 6, 11, 16, only 4 ranks of it, or 4 upgrades to it. And then on his parallel convergence, this is where we're seeing the shield change. So base shield, instead of it being 150 to 330, it's going to be 80 to 160, which is quite a decrease. But with that change, the shield ratio is going to go from 0.8 to 1.5. And yes, this video is live. Unless you're watching it after it's not live, then it's not live, but it's live right now. The shield ratio is once again going to benefit people who build AP. So once again, this is them focusing him back on being an AP mid laner. So that's what's up. So, and then on his ultimate Chrono Break, health restored is just going to be 20% of damage taken over the last 4 seconds instead of it being 20 scaling up to 30%. And then the heal ratio is going to be 1% per 15 ability power instead of 1% per 30. So once again, it's actually, that kind of just helps everybody in general. But that's just the changes. The big ones to look at there are his passive is less rewarding for tank echo and more for mid echo. And same thing with parallel convergence. His shield's not going to be anywhere near as good if you were building him as a tank because you shouldn't get a shield that big. So that's what's going on with him. So the echo changes are honestly good. In my opinion, I don't like tank echo. I think people were playing it wrong anyways, so that didn't really matter to me, or that didn't really matter overall. So Giant, who cares? And so yeah, those are the changes. So play echo in mid again. It's the way it should be. That's the way it should be, in my opinion. So yes, in case you are wondering, the patch always comes out the day after the notes are released. They always patch overnight, so they always patch Tuesday night or Wednesday morning, and it'll go live on Wednesday. So in case you're ever wondering how patches work, that's how it always is released. If you guys haven't been paying attention or don't know why, patches come out every 2 weeks unless otherwise stated, or once we get close enough to Worlds, or once we're in like the postseason. But while we're during the seasons, it's every 2 weeks, unless they need to hotfix something. But that's usually not a patch, typically. So that's usually how it works, though. Next on the list of champion changes, though, is going to be Nitta. So Nitta is a champion many people have been complaining about probably for the past 5 patches at least. She has shown her dominance in the jungle and being able to out jungle, out pressure, out gank, and just kind of be a nuisance early when it comes to having damage. And she can propel a team into early leads. So that is going to happen. The main things people want to change, I don't think these are actually them, but these are small things that people will want changes, or that'll help at least early on. So the big one up front is javelin cost. It's always been a problem with Nitta. It's either done too much damage or too little. It always feels that way. So javelin toss is going to have a longer cast time. It should cause her to not be able to pounce around and jump into her cat form as much or as fast, or cougar form as fast. It's just a slight delay. It just slows her down just a split second. So her cast time is being increased a little bit. Now the spear damage is the other thing. It's still the same base or spear damage early, but it won't scale as high for just the normal. And then maximum spear distance, it's the same thing. It still is the same on its first rank, but it doesn't go as high. Now this won't completely ruin the early greatness of Nitta. It just will slow down the amount of damage that she will continue to do as the game goes on. So it's an okay change. I don't really think it's going to do too much, but that's just one thing we're going to really be seeing a change. The next thing that we're seeing a change on is on her W, which is her bushwhack. The vision radius on cast is going to be greatly reduced from 1200 down to 400. Duration of time, though, is staying the same. This change obviously is just a vision grant change. It's helpful for the enemy team that she has less vision, so she'll be able to still check with it, but not as well. So that is a decent change, and she could get caught out for it or get her team caught out for it. So it is a good change in those aspects, but it's still not a huge issue. So that is one thing. So that is the changes to Nitta. I think they're okay-ish. I think she needs some changes actually in Cougar form. I think those are where the problems come, but I don't work at Riot, so I can't tell them to change that. I can only tell them in video form, and yeah, that would be it. So next on the list, though, we have Sivir, who's seen a few changes back and forth, mostly just down, in patches over time. The main reason teams just play Sivir, in case you don't know, it's just her ultimate. She's fine as an ADC in general, and it actually is really helpful having Spell Shield as a carry. That's a really helpful thing because you can help yourself from getting caught, and keeping the ADC alive is super, super strong. And the big thing, though, that this does, when people or teams are picking Sivir, is on the hunt is the main reason, and it's because you have the rest of your team with you that can utilize it and use it as a massive initiation and engagement tool. So the initial movement speed, instead of it being 60% at all ranks, it's now 40, 50, and 60. So it's not as good early, but it's what it was at the end of the game. So, you know, it's fine, honestly. Like, I think it'll still be a powerful tool. It's not like the world's greatest thing. Allies that enter on the hunt's radius after the cast are given the same bonus movement speed value and duration Sivir currently has. Previously, allies were given 2, 3, and 4 seconds on the initial movement speed, no matter when they joined on the hunt. So it is a decent hit on how this will work, and it's just, you know, it brings the power of the engage comp down a little bit. And we saw small changes to Righteous Glory as well, which is another powerful tool for that full engage comp. Maybe we will be seeing some changes to, or not changes as much as maybe we'll see people building Talisman of the Ascension, because that's a good engage tool too. And they actually did buff it not too long ago. So maybe we will see teams get this as their new primary engage tool. And maybe Sivir won't find herself in as many team compositions because the ultimate has been seeing these hits. So I don't think it's completely ruined. It's a utility-focused ultimate. It's still good. It's still helpful. The rest of her kit is still fine. She still clears and pushes waves well. She still does fine. But this is something that I think professional teams will definitely think about a little bit before they are picking her. So we'll see how that goes. Also, Callista's still a really big top pick, so we'll see how that goes. So next, we probably have the biggest change to the patch, or champion-wise, besides the reworked Fiora, which we didn't really cover, besides it's coming out. Fiora is a big change, but this is also a big change. Teemo hasn't been touched since the beginning of the season, really. And the big changes are obviously to the two things they touched. So, first off is his passive. This is his camouflage. Attack speed bonus, instead of it being 30% at all ranks, it's 20 up to 80%. And then at levels 1, 5, 10, and 15, which is pretty good. It's not as good earlier, but it's, you know, it's good once you pass level 5. Stealth timer, instead of it being 2 seconds, it's going to be 1.5, which is also nice. And then the swift setup. Teemo stealths twice as fast if he is in brush, and then moving inside brush while camouflage no longer breaks stealth, which is kind of awesome, honestly, because that kind of almost makes sense, honestly, with his kit. He should do that. It just, I mean, his passive currently is kind of crap, honestly. There's not a lot of times you really use it. Yes, you use it when you're baiting a kill, but outside of that, you don't use it. And when you're moving in lane and you're doing things, it's not the world's greatest thing. So his passive, I will say, is better now. That much is good. So hooray for that. Now, when it comes to his ultimate, this is something else we're seeing a change on. So he actually is getting a decent nerf on the duration for his Noxious Trap. So his shrooms are only going to last 5 minutes, not 10, which is probably something that honestly needed to happen when we saw all the changes to Vision, when they removed Oracle's Elixir originally. It was playing Teemo back then was insane because tons of shrooms, long duration of them being on the map, and that was a really, really big problem. The thing that they fixed with that originally, when that was the first problem that they realized when they took out Oracle's Elixir, was they nerfed the damage on Noxus Trap, I think, pretty significantly. Not like into the ground, it obviously still does damage, but it does hurt. So that's part of it. So 5 minutes instead of 10. But now the slow decays over 4 seconds. But now he's got a better cast range. Cast range will increase with level from 300 to 900, which is pretty awesome. The arm time is also technically nerfed. It's got a 0.5 second longer arm time. I don't think that means he has to actually cast it. It just takes that long for it to arm. So when he throws it and it does its bounce, which we're going to get to in a second, it won't be active immediately. So if you threw it and it's bouncing and somebody walks through it, it's not going to activate because it's still being armed. So look out for that. And yeah, that's what's up. So that's the other part. And then the next thing we have is casting traps on existing Noxus traps causes them to bounce 3, 4, and 5 Teemos further in the direction they were originally tossed. So this is the bouncing mechanism, so you can kind of bounce and ricochet shrooms around. Mushrooms now die to 3 basic attacks from ranged champions and 2 from melee. So when people are clearing your shrooms, that's how those are going to get cleared. Overall, I think there's more utility with Teemo now, but he sees a nerf to the duration on which his shrooms can sit on the map. What do I think about Teemo, and is he OP? Honestly, I think Teemo falls into a weird gray area of I hate Teemos who are on my team because I feel like they're always bad, but I don't, like, if I play Teemo, I think it's great because then I think he's super overpowered. But I think what it is that Teemo is, I hate to say skill matchup. You just need to use him correctly. I talk about it a lot actually in the Teemo build I did. If you don't use blind correctly, and if you don't, I don't know, play around the map with this kit well, I think you just use Teemo terribly and he doesn't do anything in a team fight. And even then, he typically still doesn't do anything in a team fight. You want to split push and cause so much chaos on other parts of the map or in solo lanes or with split pushing that Teemo becomes a split push menace. And getting to him because of his shrooms being everywhere protecting him is really, really hard. So Teemo overpowered? Honestly, I don't think so. I don't mind playing against Teemo because I understand what he should do to win and what I need to do to win. And I like playing Teemo if I need to play Teemo because I understand exactly what I need to do to win and what they will want to do to not let me win, but I will do it anyways because I think Teemo is all about the blind and using it correctly, and it makes easy sense to me at least. Talk about it in the build. So check that out more in depth. I don't think Teemo's overpowered though. Not at all. I think there's certain things about his kit that are annoying for people who struggle against those aspects like the blind and the shrooms, but besides that, I don't find those things that annoying unless I'm playing poorly, so, or I'm getting really outplayed for some reason. So yeah, Teemo's fine, honestly. I don't really have a problem with him like a lot of people do. So that's all for champion changes. There's really not a lot of champion changes in this patch. It's actually a pretty short patch, to be honest. So next, though, we do have an item change. It's Zekes Harbinger. The Riot actually really likes where this item is at, and they like what it's bringing to the game. There are some changes, though, to it. What we're going to see, first off, is charges per ability use is going to be down from 12 to 8. Charges per basic attacks is going to go down from 6 to 4. Charges per ally, 6 to 4. And per ability ally basic attack, 3 to 2. Buff duration is being increased on it, though, so it lasts longer. So instead of 6 seconds, it's going to be 8 seconds. Yes, that's what we want. Fixed a bug on it as well, where Zeke's stacks weren't transferring to a new target ally, recasting the active, and they fixed a bug where Zeke's wasn't giving assists. So, this is actually, I would say, a small buff. Small buff? Yeah, because duration increased. Buff duration increase kind of makes it a lot better, honestly. So, yeah, we like this. I haven't actually had a chance to screw around with this yet. I still want to see how LCS and leagues use it, and I don't think they're on the last previous patch. They will be this weekend. I don't know if challenger teams are yet, but that's what we will see. So, I want to see how they use it. So, yeah. Why don't I go pro? You have this. I don't have the skills, and I don't want to go pro. Yes. Okay, so that is Zeke's. Pretty simple changes, honestly. The HUD update. We did get the HUD. I still like parts of it and hate parts of it. They're going to be tweaking it, and they're going to be rolling it out into ranked queues, which makes sense, honestly. I know they wanted to test it more, but test it in the PBE. Just make it come out in all queues. It's just annoying jumping and seeing both of them. Oh, it's super annoying. So, because all your items are here, and then they're there, and then you're in a different queue, and then they're somewhere else, and that was dumb. So that was bad of them, to be honest. That was stupid. So we're going to be seeing that in all queues. They're going to be changing some quality of life. We're also seeing some other changes. Global font changes, switch to a thicker font. Font size has been increased in many locations across the HUD. Added a drop shadow to the chat box, which is very smart of them, because that was stupid. Chat stat panel buff stats once again use colored text. Stat icons are larger. Crit strike chance and attack range have swapped positions. Crit chance is now in the default view, while attack range is now in the view expanded. Up to the brightness of the XP bar as well, which is good because that was also hard to read. Ability bar cooldown, sweep indicators, cooldown on out of mana colors are now easier to tell apart. Re-added cast bars for non-instant abilities. HUD ability animations, ability level up, toggling cooldown are now gold instead of blue. And reduced noisiness of HUD animations. Some other changes: CS, KDA, and KDA team stuff. Size of the team's frames above the mini-map have been increased. Ping and FPS indicators are larger as well, which is also good. So many nice changes. Hooray for all those things. Scoreboard changes too. Instant feedback system. They've mentioned this at launch. Instant feedback system was originally tuned conservatively to avoid false positives. Now it has been in place for a few months. We're ready to start taking the training wheels off. In particular, the system is now more likely to punish hate speech after just one incident. So basically, summarizing this is, don't be a dick. Be nice. Guys, it's a video game. That's what's up. Mastery emotes can now be muted when you mute an enemy champion, and you can see enemy teams now emoting their champion mastery at ranks 4 and 5. So you can mute people, and it will do that. Also, fun fact, if you mute somebody who is spam laughing, if you mute them and, go to the mute thing, it will mute all the things that their champion does. And it will mute that laughing, which is annoying. If you just are tired of them constantly saying, you can't milk those, you can't milk those, you can't milk those, you can't milk those. So that's also nice in case you didn't know that. So it also will mute the champion mastery emote. So, yeah. Another fun fact and another nice thing that you will be able to do in this patch as well is ward skin selection from Champion Select will be coming, so you can change your wards up. I know I don't usually change mine too often. I have a couple different ones, but that's kind of cool if you're just feeling different and you're like, you know what, I've been using the Riot Fist Bump ward. I'm going to use the Soraka Banana ward. Let's do it. So, yeah. That's kind of a cool little thing, just a small thing that should be in there, and I'm kind of glad it's getting in there. Some changes to bug fixes. Black Market Brawlers, something stupid on the enchantment teleports effect. No longer can be bugged, cast with its cooldown. Rift Scuttler now drops a soul, which is also smart. Upgrading the trinket no longer resets its cooldown, which was dumb. Using a consumable item no longer temporarily disables Devourer's effects. Galio now properly gets assists when shielding allies, which is Bulwark, which is good, because he should. Spirit Guard Udyr now plays VO when he kills a Scuttler. And restored custom E Shunpo VFX and Sandstorm and Force Sandstorm and Slaybell Katarina. So that's what's up. That's gonna ham. Upcoming skins. We have Crack Addict Fizz. Crack Addict Fizz will be coming. It's Cottontail Fizz. He looks creepy as shit. It's the teeth. I'm gonna be honest. It's like seriously like super weird and creepy, and somebody's on drugs at Riot. Not surprised though, but hey, look, it's Teemo. We talked about him. How crazy. So, this is coming out. Apparently my mouse is freaking out. Go back up to the corner. Got it. All right, cool. So that's coming out. Also, Chroma Packs. Got some chromas, man. We got base chroma for Cassiopeia. We have Chroma Pack for Dragon Slayer Vayne, which is interesting too. And then we have Koi Nami Element. So we have that too, which will be fun. I don't know if you guys like chromas. I don't have any Chroma Packs. Let me know in the comments if you like chromas or if you have chromas, because I don't know. Yeah, let me know. But yeah, other than that, that's the patch. If you guys have any questions. Oh, wait, that's not the patch, I lied. So, Let's go up to the top. Rufus. Go to the news. We're gonna change pages real quick. We're gonna take a look at not the black market brawlers. That's not what we want. We want gameplay update for the Juggernauts. So we'll talk about this for a second because this kind of goes hand in hand with the patch. I will attempt to take a look at these guys on the PBE and upload something. We're going to see significant changes to these 4 champions potentially in the future. Skarner, Mordekaiser, Garen, and Darius. Darius is going to have better dunks. Garen's going to spin to win more. Skarner's still probably going to suck after his like 12th rework. And Mordekaiser is going to be able to control Baron and Dragon. Now, I've seen a lot of people get their panties in a bunch, I believe is the most accurate way I can put it, about the Mordekaiser one. They're going to do experiments with these champions. They want these champions to feel meaningful. And I understand what they want. And even I am not like 100% when Riot changes a champion. I'm like, oh my god, yay! Change it, I love it. No, I don't. I like Gangplank at first. I was a little cautious, a little hesitant, but I like it now. Fiora's, maybe I'll be the same way, but I still don't like parts of hers, but I understand it. The Mordekaiser one, I'm in the middle. If a lot of you probably know, Mordekaiser's my favorite champion. I don't play him all the time, but he is my favorite champion deep down. So there's that. But so what Mordekaiser will be able to do, let's see if we can pull some nonsense up in a second. I'll let you guys take a look. So if we click on this, I also apologize if this is incredibly loud. So what's going to happen is, oh yeah, let's do that. We'll turn that down. So they killed Dragon, and now he has Ghost Dragon. Now, Ghost Pet Dragon is going to fight for him and have tons of health. And some people will say, well, this is stupid. But let me counter your argument with, as much as it's Dragon and he can do the splash attack, the splash attack is a spell right now. And it is not as impactful probably as an ADC with a bunch of crit, honestly. And if it's a spell, does that mean Dragon can't attack turrets? Because you can't use spells on turrets. So, yeah, like it'll be good in a team fight, but it won't be a good pushing thing unless it's just tanking a turret. It won't be able to deal damage to him. But like, that's one of the things you wanted to see. So if you want to see, well, okay, he can't take control of Baron, but if you want to see Dragon go attack Baron, you can go do that, which is fun. But we'll have to see what they do with this. And these updates they're doing. They're going to spice up just really boring champions. So, I don't think Mordekaiser is boring, but that's just because I like Mordekaiser. Skarner can go get a speed up area if he goes and finds these crystals or whatever. Garen's spin is more spinny. And Darius, after he gets his 5 stacks and he axes somebody to death, all he has to do is auto somebody once and he gets full 5 stacks, which makes his dunks even harder. So, we're going to see, and we're going to see how that goes. So, we'll also probably see lots of changes to it. Overall, I think it makes sense to update these 4 champions. I hope they're just careful with Mordekaiser since I like him so much. I have no hope for Skarner. They've changed him like 5 times with literally no success almost every time. And then, I know Skarner isn't currently terrible, but he's not helpful in any way either. The one Garen little thing they did a little while ago, actually probably like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, that was actually okay, but it's still really, really straightforward. And then Darius, honestly, is underutilized, but there's way different reasons why he's underutilized. So I'm interested in these. I'll keep an eye on them on the PBE and see if I can get these champions. The only other hard part about trying to get you guys PBE footage is, unless you guys have PBE and you guys would play with me, is I can't just jump into a bunch of games and be like, oh, hey, can I play this? Blah, blah, blah. I want to make a video. Everybody just instant locks everything. So that's kind of annoying. So, yeah. And I would be playing more than mid. It's more mid. Don't play more top. It's not bad. It's just I like more mid. He crushes all those squishy mid laners. So, yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, that's it, really. So these are some updates we'll see coming. I think these will take some time. I don't expect them to roll all these out right away unless they're going to. But they made it sound more like we're going to start working on these and we're going to start playing around with them. We want them to feel more impactful. And, yeah. Oh. That's kind of the deal. So, but for the most part, that's going to be the patch notes. Let me know if you guys have any questions real fast for anybody watching this live. We shall see. Yes. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and on Facebook for videos. And when I'm streaming, I will be streaming probably sometime this week. I will be streaming also on YouTube, obviously, because that is where I've been streaming lately. Don't forget to go check out the new Gangplank guide now that you can finally play him, so the guide will be helpful. And yeah, I think we'll just be playing later this week. I think that's the solid sound. So we're gonna do that, and yeah, short. I know it's short patch. Can't really change that, but that's what we're gonna do. So I hope you guys have a great rest of the night. I'm gonna work on some videos for this week, and we will be live streaming later this week as well. But yeah. You guys have a great one. I'll see you all later. And enjoy yourselves killing people on the fields of justice. Have a good night. Later.